Hey everyone, this is Daniel, and today is a continuation of my Power Platform YouTube series, video number 2. Now this video is dedicated to a question that was asked by Ahmed, and Ahmed definitely thanked me for all the questions. Ahmed, you're welcome for that, but I like that question. And here's what the question says, is that, Daniel, how do I do things such as add, append, and edit multiple entries to a plain text column using Power Apps? And that is a really good question. So before I jump into building that, which I am, we're going to build a whole thing from scratch. I want to actually show you a quick demo. So let's take a look at that. So here is the app. I mean, it's not a fancy looking app, but the agenda for today is how did I accomplish this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and I've even shown you all the variables and everything, their status, because I'm going to use that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and click on plus. And at that time, I'm going to put in a new request. And I'm going to say request for new employee. All right, and then I'm going to start putting in items. I'm going to say new badge. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to say, laptop, there, keyboard, mouse, docking station, and additional power supply. Okay, so while I was doing that, did you notice a few things? I'm sure you did. I've got a notes. Now this is the notes which is actually going to be saved in the backend data source, but it's also saving it over here, kind of to give you a little clue of what's going on. And then there is a full gallery over there, which is saving it as different multiple items. So all of this is happening all like an append, because I'm going ahead and adding stuff over here, and it is going ahead and getting saved over there. So now if I just go and click on save, it actually gets saved away as the new entry. See, request for hardware. So I went and clicked on that. It is going ahead and saved over here. But now I should have the flexibility to edit as well. So let me just go and say, hey, I don't need that additional power supply. So I go and delete that off. It automatically goes and gets updated over here. Click on save, and it got updated over there as well. Key things is this is all happening to all happening to a plain text, which in the back end, I'll show you what that is. So here's the video. If this triggers your fancy, stick around. But first, here's my intro video. So before we start building the app though, I want to quickly take a look at the list because it is important. Again, I'm using a SharePoint list. You could use your own data source, but I want you to kind of show the column types. So the title is by default, the one that is in SharePoint, it's called title. The only change I made was I didn't put it as required. I like to focus that from the app side. And the other ones is I call it as notes. And in notes, I'm selected as a multi-line of text. But the important thing from a SharePoint perspective is that I put it as plain text. And I am not using the append changes to existing text. This is a built-in feature for a SharePoint columns, and I know some of the SharePoint people might have already thought, like, hey, even if you're using a plain text, just use this feature. Well, this is a very SharePoint-centric feature. It might not be available on SQL, it might not be available on Dataverse or any other place, which is why I'm kind of, not using that column over there anymore, or that feature anymore. So that's basically it on the SharePoint side over here. You now saw the data source side, and I've got one test over here. So let's go and now start building the app. So I come over app, I go and click on canvas. In the canvas, I'll go ahead and select the tablet layout. And once it is built, I'll go ahead and give it a name, and we can start building that. Now, one of the things you're going to see me do a lot over here is we're going to use a variable, a very simple variable, but we're going to give a variable different stages. And that stage is going to dictate the entire process of what is happening at that stage of that app over there. So kind of hang out and watch out how this is working, because you're going to see me use that variable very often. All right, so let me just call this as append in new and EditForm live demo. Call that there, save it. We can start building that. So we're going to use galleries. We're going to use an form, and then I'm also going to use a couple of texts to kind of show you what's going on. But the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to declare the form, declare the variable and give it a value. So the variable that I'm going to use is the form type, and I'm going to call that as the form type var. You will probably see me use var at the end of the variable name. I've seen a lot of people use it before. Whatever works for you, just make sure that you keep it consistent. So this is going to be the most important one, right? Right at the beginning, I'm going to set that as blank. And what I like to do is I like to see what is going on in this variable, what are the values. So I'll just come over here, I'll make it a little big, and I'm going to call that as form type var form type var space, and then I'll call it, actually get the name. So now I'll know exactly what the value is at that point in time, right? And I usually change the display mode to view, but this is something that really helps me. I'm able to go ahead and see what's going on. And now throughout as I'm building it, you will see me going ahead and adding more set functions to change that value, again, at what stage I am in over here. So first, let me just build a simple gallery to see what the data is coming in. So I'll come over here, and you know what? I didn't even make the connection to the data source. And the reason I realized that is because when a gallery comes up, it gives you the options of data source. So that was a quick tip for me, is that, hey, you don't even have a connection to the SharePoint. So I am going to go grab that SharePoint list and connect to it. So keep the POC, go ahead and grab that, connect. And now, if I come over here and if I click on it, aha, that's where I see it. So what I want to do is, I like the test, I like this, I'm just going to go ahead and take out the image. So not 3, I'll keep it at 2. And that is good. I am pretty happy with it. Keep that a little bit up there, keep this a little bit down, make it a little smaller. Also, I'm going to quickly go ahead and add that template fill, so I know at what time I'm selected, which item has been selected. So if this item dot is selected, this item dot is selected, give me a light color something, light, let's go with light blue, and close that. So I always know which one is selected over there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add, let's add the edit form. All right, so I'm going to keep this out so I can actually see what's going on. And we'll add the edit form. So I'm going to come over here to my forms, and I'm going to go ahead and add the edit form. Now in the edit form, for now, I just want those 2 columns, and we're going to go ahead and tweak this edit form. This edit form. So I'm going to click there, get the edit form, and I'm just going to get the title and the notes. Get rid of the attachment, make that as 1, and we will be tweaking this a lot in the different process. In fact, some of the tweaking we can start right now. So I'll go ahead and for the notes, I'll select that entire card, I'll unlock it, and in the unlocking, I'm going to go ahead and make that, let me select the entire card, make it a little big, and I'm going to go ahead and make this a little big. All right, simple, nothing too fancy, but at least go ahead and start with that. Okay, so we'll be tweaking that one a little bit more. Next, let me go ahead and start adding some buttons, icons, because I'm going to be needing them across. So I'll go ahead and add the plus, all right, which is the add one. For these guys, I need to make sure that I actually give it some name. So I'll come onto the icon one, and I'm going to call it as add new request icon. Also, I'm going to go ahead and add a pencil for edit. So I'll come to pencil, and for the pencil, I'm going to call that as the edit icon. Edit icon. Then I'm also going to put a save and a trash icon. Save would be for saving the entire data, and I'll also go ahead and put in a trash, which is if I want to go and delete that. Okay, so just go ahead and grab a save icon, and then finally grab a delete, which will be my trash. So also a good time to go and save it. Nice. All right. I'll publish it too. What the heck? Now I'm going to add 2 other things. Now, if you remember in the demo, I went ahead and added a different control over here, which was the text control, where I'm going to be putting that to add more and more data to replicate that append functionality. So here I've gone ahead and added just a simple text column. In the text column, I've gone ahead and I'll leave that as text input 1 for now. But I will go ahead and add another icon. I'll put that check. The check was basically going and saying that, hey, you're going to go ahead and save it. So I'll just leave that as a add new item. I'll put that as add new item icon, and that's the functionality. So just go ahead and save it. Finally, I'm going to also create another gallery. So I'll be adding another gallery over here. Let me go ahead and just add the gallery for now, and we will tweak it later. I'm not going to use any of that functionality, which is I'm not connecting it to the data we have, which is the SharePoint list. This is just going to be a gallery which will actually show you the temporary information which is being stored in the collection. So it's going to be a very simple one. but it's, in fact, this is something that you may not even need to show, but I'm putting it over there. So for the sake of this demo, you see what is going on. And I'm going to change that arrow to a trash. So I think we are good. We've got pretty much everything that we need. Let's check. We got the galleries, we got the two galleries, we got the edit forms, we've got this one. Oh, there's one more that's missing. I'm going to come over here to the label. And in the label, this is again going to be for our viewing purposes. Once the app is up and running, I can go and hide it. But what the label is going to do is it's actually going to show me what is happening at that time. Like the appending piece is happening over there. All right, so let me stop about the appending piece and talk a little bit about the appending piece. When I came up with the idea of the appending piece, and you probably saw that in the demo, I liked using the pipe, which is basically a vertical column. Pipe was actually a term came directly from the coding days over there. The reason I went with pipe is because, and I could use any options, but that was the one that is least used in a day-to-day activity. Therefore, I completely ignored comma, because comma can be used so much. I also ignored colon and semicolon, because again, that can be used in your day-to-day entry activity. Therefore, the pipe or the vertical column was the best one that I came up with. So you're going to be seeing me add that a lot. All right, so now let's start working with playing around with the variables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first add this plus functionality, because I'm going to be adding a new form. So here is when you're working with forms, and if you're adding a new form, the first function you're going to use is NewForm and then the form name. Took care of that. Next, I want to actually tell you that form type var, what is happening at that instant? When I click on plus, what is happening? Well, I'm adding a new entry. So therefore, I'm putting the form type var over there, and I'm calling that as new. All right. And now you're going to see me come back over here. Set form type not equals new, Daniel. Come on. Rookie mistakes. And over here, I'm going to be creating a collection. So what I'll do is you'll see me come back over here, and I'm going to do the clear collection over there. So I'm going to actually do that clear collection. So I'll leave that for now, because if I say, I'll even show you, if I come over here and I type in the temp collection, it doesn't even pick up the collection name. All right. So you'll see me come back over here and type that. Cool. Now, let's also go ahead and now play around a little bit with this functionality over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now come up with a way that somebody's going in and filling the form. In the form, while they start filling the form, I want them to come over here and start adding the other data. Now, I haven't taken care of, like how do you force them to come down over here? All that design piece, I'll leave that to you. This is focused on how this works. So somebody's coming ahead, they click on this plus button, they fill out the form, they fill out the title. We will go ahead and hide this notes at the end. We'll leave it at only view, but I want to show you what's going on, so I'm leaving it at that. What they'll do is they'll hide that, and they'll come over here to add all this data that we need. So what I'm going to do is now for the on select for that check, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to say collect, and now I'm going to define that collect the collections. I call it as temp comments collection. You could put that as temp whatever you want, but this is what I'm going to do. Comment, and I'm going to use this column over there. So that is the text one. So let me go grab that. Text input one. Oh, it is a text, so I'll go and grab that. Brackets, close, comma. Neat. Now, while this is going on, I am going to use the form type var edit add. All right, the variable for that is going to be edit add. See, I told you I'm going to be adding a lot of different variables, variable statuses for that variable. That way I can dictate and monitor what's happening at that point in the app. So did that, comma, and this was going to be the edit add, comma, double quotes, close the brackets. Okay. Next is I am going to start also using the create a variable. Now this is going to be a different variable. This variable is going to dictate what I see over here. All right, that's going to help me dictate what I see over here. So therefore, for the variable on this one, I'm going to come back and I'm going to start adding a variable. It's not a collection, this is a variable, and this is not to do with what's happening with the form. This is helping me keep track of what is going on, to basically go ahead and get the text which is coming in over here. The text input one. See, it's the whatever is the value which we have over here. I'm going ahead and saving that in the text in this variable. Okay. Remember, I'm doing two things. I'm going to put in the collection and I'm going to save it in the variable. And for the variable, I don't need that. And then finally, I go ahead and reset that text input. The reason I reset it is so that it just helps people to clear it. Just adding it a little bit more easy. And that is reset. there. And so this is just pretty straightforward. What will happen now is if I come over here to the items, and if I go ahead and select that collection, you should start seeing some data come in over there, right? It'll be pretty simple, it'll be straightforward, but you should start seeing some data come in. But here's the thing though, when I save the data from an existing form, okay, so let's say that example. I'm coming in, filling out a new form, you start plus, you start putting in a title, and you start filling it over here. It goes ahead and saves it into that temp collection. It'll go ahead and save it into the comments column over there. What happens when we want that scenario where people are coming in and they want to edit it? Well, in the editing, what happens is I'm going to make it such that once they've selected that option, it will take that data and also save it again into the same temp comma collection form over there. But there's a little change that happens over there. There is a column called results, which is automatically created. And therefore, it's a little different. Right now, when we are saving it, I'm saving it to something called as the comments column. But when you're viewing a new one that is coming in, it saves it to this item.results. And you'll actually have already noticed that when you've been working on these apps. So we'll have to tweak that a little bit using an if condition. But let me start typing it in over there, and it'll make sense to you. So for a new data that is coming in, and if I want to see the take whatever is the existing items over here, and I want to put it into a collection, this is how I do it, right? I take that, remember it's coming from, I'm going to save it into the temps collection over there, but the data is coming in only as a single text, which means I'm going to use the split function, and I'm going to use the pipe to define where to split it. Make sense? All right, check this out. I'm going to do it right now. It's coming in, and it's coming in from the gallery one.selected dot notes, because the notes is the column, and over there I'm going to say split it based on this pipe, close it, double close it, and I'm also going to set the form now to edit type. The form type var, I'm going to set that to edit. All right. The very important thing that we've learned over here is that by the default is blank. Go ahead and click on that. It turns it to edit. And it actually even said that, hey, some of the data is being stored over here because you saw two items come in. I bet you they're keyboard and mouse, but it's not the same data. Watch what's happened. I come over here to file. I come to collections. Oopsies. I go to file. I go to collections. When I collections, see, it stores it in that result, even though we've defined it a comment over there. And this happens when the data is coming in fresh from an existing data source which is collected. When I selected that item in the gallery and that selected item over there, it saves it in result over here. So we're going to use a manipulation of an if function to make sure that over here, regardless of what I'm doing, if I'm doing a new item, then show me the data from the comment. But if I'm seeing an existing item, then show me the data from this item.result, and that is how I'll be able to see it. So now that I explained it to you, let's actually go ahead and just fill this out so you can see what's going on. All right. So here in the text, we are going to do some manipulation using if function. All right. So if function, and I'll just if form type var equals new, then just use this item comment. Then we are good. However, if form type var equals edit, right? Edit, then we're going to use this if function. If is blank this item dot result. If it is blank, and it means if it is blank, if it's true, then go ahead and get this item dot result. This item dot comment. Otherwise, go and get this item dot result. Kind of works out really well. And if you understand what's going on, I'm just doing a check over there. Hey, while I'm in the edit form, if this item over here, which is this result, the result we saw in the collection, if that is blank, then just get the data from the comment. The comment comes in directly from when I'm editing or doing that. But if item is blank, just put in this item result. So this is what I'm going to do now for all the other ones, the edit, add, and the delete. So check this out. I'm just going to do some copy and paste. And I bet you could come up with a lot of commas or double quotes for making it a little bit more easier. But for the sake of this demo, I have intentionally gone ahead and added them as separate lines. All right, so did that, Control C, coming in here. And the edit add is something that we're going to use in the next few minutes over here. So I'll explain it at that time. But since I'm building this is how it is. So see, the moment I went ahead and added that formula with this if function, now you can actually see the data that's coming in over here. It's kind of exciting, right? It's actually all coming together. And since we are over here, let's go ahead and take care of this delete as well. So I'll just call that as, at this time, I'm going to set the form type bar. Where are you? Form type bar equals, I'm going to call that as delete. Why do I keep putting equals over there, Daniel? It's comma, right? And then semicolon, and I'll remove this item. That should remove from the Tim's colon collection, comma, this item. Close it. See, it's all coming together. Nice. I'm excited. Okay, so now we went ahead and made sure that it is going and data is getting saved. We've got the data over here. Let's spend a little bit more time on this one over here. So in this time, it'll actually make a lot of sense over here because we went ahead and manipulated this with the if function. So what's going to happen over here is similar. If, open the brackets, again, if form type var equals, again, edit, if it is edit, then go ahead and get the gallery1.selected.notes. All right, or actually selected, and I can put that as subtitle, which is the one, gallery1 subtitle 3. That's basically what it is. Otherwise, if it is, say, form type var equals edit add, here's what we're going to do. We're going to use a concat. Now in the concat, I am going to now use that, get the items from the gallery. I'm going to go ahead and take that title, that information, and I'm going to go ahead and split that using the pipe over there. So check this out. I'm going to go to gallery 2, whatever is the gallery dot all items, title 4. Now this title 4, that comes from this guy over here. So that's going to be the title. So if I go and take a look at it, this is going to be, it's my title 5. So I got to make sure I put the right one. Come in over here, there, and it's title 5, comma. I'm going ahead and telling it exactly how I need that broken down. So I open the brackets, double quotes, put a space bar, then hit the pipe, another space bar, double quotes, and close it. All right, that's basically how I'm doing it over there, and it works really well. I go in comma. So let's just make sure that everything is good. I'm getting a little error over there, but I think it's because my edit add is not function over there. So let me go ahead and now capture the same thing. It's the same formula right there, paste it in, but this is going to be now for delete, and everything is also the exact same. So I'll go ahead and now close it. Let me just save it for now, even though it's not completely working, because I bet you that's because that edit form is not there, the edit add. But let's do some testing now. Okay, so I'll come in right now. If I also the edit form needs some manipulation. The edit form for this item also needs some manipulation over here. Again, we're going to do another if statement. So for the if statement, it's going to be form type var equals, again, new. This is pretty easy because I'm going to go ahead and see new. Then the default is going to be whatever is the default coming from that SharePoint list. And that's a pretty straightforward one. We've seen that quite often. Now, I need to work on the other ones as well. Form type var equals edit, comma. If it is edit, then go ahead and get it from the gallery1.selected. Simple, straightforward. In fact, the next 3 of them are going to be the exact same. And because I'm recording this video, I want to kind of explain it to you. That's why I'm putting it over there. There's going to be the edit. If you are in the edit stage of using the form, get me the selected value over there on the gallery 1, not the one which is showing all the assets that you requested. The first gallery over there, which is the item. Same thing. Form type edit. If it's blank, again, go ahead and set the selected one. And then the last one I'm putting in is also if it is Control V didn't work. All right, now if it is delete, again, show me the selected value. This is basically what it helps. Okay, cool. Let me just go ahead and close the bracket. Let me save it too. So let's see. Okay, we're coming in over here. While I did the test, it automatically went ahead and showed that. And it went ahead and even highlighted all of that information over here. And if I do a new, the new, everything goes ahead and gets blank. So if I say now test2, I'm going to say, I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3. We've got an issue going on. But let me save it to see how it happens over here. So the save, we didn't actually do anything on the save, did we? I bet you we did not. So let's go and actually function on our save button. On select is empty. This save is pretty simple. A save is basically, I'm going to go ahead and submit the form, which is a very simple form, comma. I'm going to reset the form. It's always a good practice to do that. And then I'm going to also go and clear the collection that we have. And also go to set the form type var back to blank. Equal, comma, blank. So now if I go ahead and save it, it is saving. A new item comes through over here. The data did not get saved. Well, we'll have to go take a look to see what happened over there. And it didn't get saved because this error was still coming up over here. So let's go check out to see what's happening over here. Okay, let's take a look. Subtitle.text. It's that simple. Sometimes it's the simplest thing. So I could have actually used that label as well. I went ahead and just made that text, but great. We troubleshoot that together. All right, so now let's actually double check this one more time. If I go ahead and now select this, see, it's all making sense. I selected the top one, went ahead and added, showed me what it is, automatically went ahead and split it, put it in the gallery over here, and then I'm also seeing this available on that side. What I want to do is just to kind of do the finishing touches. I'm going to go ahead and take care of this one. So I'm going to select the notes over here. I'm going to come over here, and I think I already went and unlocked it, so that's great. Once I've done that, go and click on the data card value, the actual data card value, and in the data card value, I'm going to manipulate its default over here. So its default, again, is going to be so similar to what the if functions, again, using the different types of if statements that we have over here. So the form type var equals, if it is blank, go ahead and set the, show me the text input. Basically show me the text input 2. When I say text input 2, I want to go ahead and see the text input which is coming from. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say get it to me from the text input 2. Text input 2.text, comma, and then I'm going to do that for pretty much all the other ones as well. For the new, there's new, right? Now for the form type var equals, when it is in the edit state, go ahead and get me what's in the this item dot notes. So it grabs that. And then for the other two as well, other two statuses, we can pretty much get the exact same two. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these two here, come back there, and just change that to edit add. And then this one's going to be delete. And finally, for that one, I'm going to go ahead and change. I'm going to go ahead and make it visible. Let's go and change the visible a little bit. Take a look at its visible. And in the visible, it's view. That's good. Let's go take a look at its display mode. In the display mode, and the display mode, I'm going to go and change that to view. I could have done that from the other side as well, but I just went and changed that over here, display mode to view. That's why it doesn't show that. Okay, let's go and see now how everything's working. Click on new, everything is new. See, form type variable var is new over there. Now notes doesn't show up, so I'm going to now say new employee onboarding. Nothing shows up in the notes. I can't do any clicking over there, which is why by instinct I go to the next place. I say, okay, ID badge. And we got that. So let's go check out to see what happened. I bet you at some point I have not done a clear collect. And that's usually what happens at every time. When I go and do a new button over there, I should have put in a clear collect at some point. See? Oh, and remember, I didn't do it because I said I would get an error. See, that's actually one of the questions I get a lot in my YouTube comments as well, that, hey, I'm adding this and it still remembers the previous ones. Is this because you have not done a clear? So that's what I should do. Come back over here. I do a clear. I'm going to put that new onboarding part, leave that text as is. I'm going to say ID badge. ID badge over there. Say a laptop. It's good. Keyboard, monitor, mouse. We'll do one more. Okay. It's a docking station. Now I'm going to go and click on save. Clicked on save. See, it showed up as a single line of text. Even though I was appending over here, it showed up as a single line of text. So we accomplished that first one. Next one is if I go click on it, it automatically went and highlighted everything. It shows that it's appending. It's showing as a single line of text over there. But now, right now, I can go ahead and click on say I don't need a docking station. So we don't need a docking station. It went ahead and updated that, which means if I go ahead and now just save it, see, that got updated. It actually updated on the data source. Again, if I come back over here and say, you know what, I don't need a laptop or mounting station, I just need a additional charger, okay, for traveling sakes. Click on that, shows up over here, shows up over here. But if I save it, it actually shows up on the data source of it. It actually goes and saves it. Okay, so we did a lot. We went and built an entire app, and I was able to show you how we can use a plain text and go ahead and add the appending functionality and still saves it in a single line of text over there. What I've done is, if you look at the links below, I've actually provided this entire app in the Power Apps user community over there, so you can go ahead and download it. This video also will be available over there. I put screenshots of the SharePoint list, so you can actually replicate that. Go ahead, download it, play with it. As always, I do like your comments, so go ahead and leave the comments over there. And please do like and subscribe my video. But as always, keep power apping.